Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chaotic Wonderful channel. We are very excited for a wonderful start to a mini campaign of Vaesen, or however you've seen how to pronounce it. I've seen like 6 different ways.
Yeah, I
So
believe it's Vaesen.
Vaesen,
That's what I've looked up. So
wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. We're very excited to play this, but before we get going on that, first off, I want to celebrate the fact that we just passed 100 followers over on Chaotic Wonderful, so hell yeah, hell yeah. And next, also a couple announcements here. On the 18th, we're starting up another mini campaign of Wander Home, which I believe will be GM'd by our wonderful Taylor up here in the upper left corner. And also on the 23rd, we're going to have a one-shot of Orbital Blues. So mark your calendars, and I hope I'll see y'all there. Now, before we get going into the game itself, let's start with introductions. So for everyone here, the wonderful cast here, I'll need your name, your pronouns, and just where people can find you. We'll get into all the fun character stuff as soon as I pass it over to Mary. But let's start off with Taylor with Mary on deck.
Hi, I'm Taylor. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube at Roll4Felicity. I run lots of one-shots over there, and you can see what I'm doing on my Twitter. Excited to be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Taylor. Let's go to Mary with Steve on deck.
hi everybody, I'm Mary Kate Mead. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NerdOnWheels15, where I chat about disability, TTRPGs, and everything in between. And my pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Let's go to Steve with Miguel on deck.
Hi, my name's Steve. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at W9Steve, and that's mostly it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Steve. Let's go to Miguel with myself on deck.
Hey, everybody. I'm Miguel. I'm your TTRPG bestie. You can find me on the internet around Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, etc. at Miguel_Classico. Also have a fun D&D stream coming up soon, but no real deets on that. Late August over with the Red Heron. All I got.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Miguel. All right. Over to me with Derek on deck. My name is Matt. My pronouns are he, him. And you can find me socials, Twitch, YouTube as Improv and D&D. All right. Last but certainly not least, Derek.
Great. You've been doing a good job. Name is Derek Brown. Pronouns he, him. You can find me pretty much any website. I mean, just my website, I guess, derekbrown.com, and social, Twitter, Instagram, and I have a podcast, Lights, Camera, Blaction. Please search that out. We just watch a whole bunch of old black movies and we make fun of them. So there you go.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank y'all so much for being here on this wonderful channel. And now I'm going to pass it on over to our wonderful GM of the evening. Mary, take it away.
All right. So one of the wonderful things about Vaesen is it's a world similar to our own, but it's not set in the modern era with cell phones, technology. No, we're going back. We're going to go back to the turn of the century, specifically the 20th century, 1900s. Steam engines are finally becoming more a thing. Factories are booming. Dreams are coming true for people trying to make a new life for themselves. And one of the things that is great sometimes about this era is the stories people tell. Stories that mothers will tell their children about the boogeyman or La Llorona, that if they're not careful and they go to the water's edge, the woman in white might just get them. But do they remember that when they're adults? Or will they go to the water's edge and only remember the mother's words when they hear crying behind them? We call these creatures Vaesen. mythological creatures, ghosts, you name it, they're real. And in this game, we're going to follow a group of investigators, people that have a special gift that can see these creatures. Now, normally Vaesen are quite kind, as long as you don't wrong them. You don't take away their homes. You don't step on the toadstool ring. Because if you do, they will find you and they will bother you until there's no one left to bother. So we're going to dive in to this new era where you can see the entire picture of the world. We're going to start out, Astrid. Where do we find you on this spring morning as you're kind of getting around for your day?
Yeah, Astrid is in her, I think, like mid 60s, maybe late 60s. And retired doctor. So she used to be one of the main doctors at her, her clinic. But now she kind of just goes in and helps out when she can, or goes around and does like house calls to people. She walks with a little bit of a stoop. And I think maybe I'm out with my horse, and maybe like collecting like herbs and stuff. If it's spring, there's probably like a lot of like really good like plants and things that are growing that would be like beneficial. So maybe getting some stuff, maybe making like a poultice or something for some achy bones.
Definitely. You're out and new flowers are finally like blossoming. It is rather nice weather. It can be kind of cold, but luckily the sun is shining, birds are chirping. It's a rather great day. As you're out picking flowers, one of the young women from one of your neighbors runs up to you and just says, "You got a message."
A message?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, you got a letter. They left it. They wouldn't let me take it. They're at your house.
Oh, I just got out here. I don't want to go all okay.
I know, and I tried to tell them, but they just wouldn't listen.
I'll have a word with them that other people can bring me my messages, because they'd much rather, I think, deal with you than deal with me now that I'm irritated.
I tried to warn them, but they were insistent. I'll finish picking the herbs. Don't worry.
I think I like kind of show her like, okay, now you're going to be looking for the ones that, they're not too young. You don't want to get anything too young. You don't want to get anything that's frostbitten. That's gonna, be not so good. But kind of showing her what I need, and then I'll start. I'll leave the horse with her, because I think the horse probably has some like baskets or something on it to carry the things, and I'll hobble back to where I need to get my letter.
As you walk away, you kind of sense like this unease as you leave from the horse. Like it kind of like bucks and like shakes its head, almost a little nervous for you.
Ooh, nervous for me. At first I think I'm irritated with the horse that like it's not listening to me, but then when I think I sense that it's like nervous for me, I kind of like take note of that, because horses do have like, supernatural senses. They can sense spirits and stuff like that. So I think my hackles are up.
You get to your house. There is a person with a hand-delivered letter written in nice script and says, Astrid Nilsson, am I correct?
Yes, that's me. Now I have something I want to say to you before you run off with this letter.
I'm just a messenger lady. Miss ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Doctor. It's doctor, actually.
Okay.
It's on the letter.
Yes, it is. It is on the letter. Oh, I'm gonna get fired.
I don't know. I don't want you to be fired. I just, next time, if you're delivering me something, you can trust the people around here to get it to me. But I'll take the letter. You're just doing your job.
Okay. All right. Here you go. I'm gonna go now. And he's just gonna like sprint out of there. It's a little quiet, and you have the letter in your hands.
I'm gonna open it.
All right, we're gonna switch on over to Camilla. Where do we find you this spring morning?
Camilla is any place where there's probably people. She's kind of poking around. She doesn't have the entire like medical knowledge or even, you know, she went to school. She knows a lot of things, but one thing, the most thing she knows is people. She knows where they go, what they do, and what they want to hear. And so it has worked very well for Camilla as she has been out on her own. She does not have any family that she's attached to. So she has to take care of herself. And she's very good at that, using some of her abilities and also understanding what people want by looking at them even before they do. So she has made the rest of her time much easier. So that might mean going to some shops, trying to find some breakfast. She is big into different types of food and the people that make them and drinks and things like that. A lot of different experiences. So wherever she can find that is kind of where she's going to be.
You are kind of filtering through the crowd. It's kind of one of those mornings where finally the market is opening up, not just the storefronts. It's finally warm enough that you see different carts outside with a bunch of different flowers and people walking side by side on a morning stroll. You see some with parasols. Other kids are running around, just kind of weaving through people. You probably can tell they are definitely pickpocketing those that are near, but they're just trying to get by.
Yeah, they would definitely. And if I am seeing some of that, there's nothing saying that I wouldn't drop a couple coins down on the floor, you know, on kind of the ground near them, that kind of thing. And Camilla does kind of walk with a cane. It's not necessarily that she's really leaning on it, but it is more of a accent piece to her, you know, green dress and cloak, and she has a bunch of pouches with little knickknacks and things like that in it, and just some very, you know, very dark hair, but still a much fairer light skin. And she's only about 28, so she's in this time she's in her prime. She's probably middle age at this point, but is still kind of basically looking for adventure and looking for something interesting, something to entertain her for the day.
You go up to one of your favorite tea shops and a messenger arrives, kind of almost kind of catching their breath. They just go, letter important for you.
Okay. And then she'll definitely take it. And she says, calm yourself. Can I get you something to drink for a second while you catch your breath?
That would be wonderful. And then I gotta go. I've got spring. Everyone's excited to start with the new balls and parties.
Mm-hmm. And I pick up my letter. Is this a ball or a party invitation? Do you happen to know? And I will kind of press it against their head and says, tell me what it is. What is it? What is it? Is it a ball invitation? Think, tell me.
I don't know. And they kind of start backing off
and I'll just tap them on the head.
Way.
You're no fun. And then I hand them like a tea or something like that and said, off with you then if you're not going to be any fun, and go to open my letter.
All right. Jerome, Where do we find you
Yes.
this spring morning?
So, I'd say that Jerome is likely wandering. He's in the forest. He's keeping an eye on things, trying to make sure that people who have been camping or traveling through have cleaned up their messes. He's keeping an eye out for tracks, for scats, to see if there's anything unusual going on. Of course, he has his faithful German Shepherd T-Bone with him, and the two of them are wandering together, enjoying the crisp air. It's fairly early, and Jerome, of course, is wearing like this light brown uh, short sleeve shirt and shorts, and walking around with a bit of a spring in his step.
You do get a few looks, as they're not quite used to seeing someone not in a full suit garb, but it is the forest, and there's not as much judgment here. I mean, the birds aren't going to care if you say the right thing or do the right dance move. They're going to sing
Right.
regardless.
Exactly. I can bust whatever move I want.
Mm-hmm. You are going through, and as you're checking and making sure that those that were camping have picked up their things, your German Shepherd starts to have a low growl, just like almost a warning.
Oh, what is it? What is it, boy? What's going on?
And then he just like points towards the forest edge. There, you're in a clearing, one of the prime camping spots, but it's just out of sight beyond the trees that he just points directly.
Okay. Don't worry. I'll be right back. If if you don't see me back in 2 minutes, go tell Salisbury, and I'll go over to the forest edge alone.
It's a little dark in there. The canopy is still uh finally leaves are growing and it's not as barren. You see kind of like birds fly out of the treetops as you enter, and you
Hello.
see a shadow of someone just from a little glint of light that are coming through the branches.
Uh, my my name's Jerome. I'm the ranger here. Are you okay?
You hear twigs start snapping underfoot as this thing or whatever it is like it's kind of looks like to be like slightly muddy, but it looks to be like uh, at least the size of a person come towards you.
Okay. Would I be able to make them out as being maybe hurt or maybe a hostile stance?
Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead and make me a precision vigilance roll.
Precision vigilance. Okay. My
So in this game, we have dice pools. They have a score and their attributes, which is like what they can naturally do, and skills, which is what they've learned. They combine both those scores into a dice pool and they need to roll a 6. They need just one unless it's a difficult check.
I've got one.
Yay! All right. You notice that the person limbering towards you, as the light clears, it looks to be a simple messenger that is exhausted, has been trampling through the muddy forest with just haggard breathing as it just what Jerome.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just it's muddy. It's real. I
Oh
don't get paid
yeah.
enough. I don't get paid enough for this. $2 is not enough for this long of a journey.
Oh goodness. You went through there? That's crazy. Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
was told to come here. That's all I know.
Okay.
This is for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, can I get you anything?
Sure. he's just gonna sit just on the ground. There's a old, like, probably fallen down tree log that he just sits and just hands you a map to hopefully point him in the safest direction home,
Oh,
or at least to the next area of civilization.
yeah. I mean, if you want, I can, and I'll do like a quick little whistle out to my strong horse Salisbury, and I'll say, "Hey, why don't you hop up on my horse? She won't bite you or anything. But I'll take you. I'll take you to the next town. It's okay.
Okay.
You look pretty tuckered out. Thank you for this."
Yeah, I appreciate it. And he just, like, you see him, like, pull out like some like hardtack that's probably with him. Like, he appears to be more of like just a simple messenger that takes things back and forth. This is like way out of his league of like what he's trained for. And he must have been paid a lot, which $2 back then is very good for certain type of tasks. But
Mhm.
again, probably not enough for this. Probably
Yeah.
should have been more.
I mean, I'll give him an extra few bucks. Jerome is a little on the wealthier side, so he doesn't care especially living out here. He's able to kind of get the stuff he needs and live off the land, and so he'll probably toss like $5 his way.
He just like eyes widen, bright, just puts that in a pocket, doesn't ask any questions. Now he's even almost a little bit more nervous of why the forest ranger has so much cash, but he's not gonna ask questions. And you have a letter.
Great. I mean, as soon as like the conversation reaches an awkward point on the way to the town, I'll crack that open.
Nice. We're gonna cut over to Gus. What's Gus doing this spring morning?
Oh yeah, Agustin. He is waking up, probably on the floor or a bench in a bar somewhere. Just lifting himself up, a quick swoop of the hair back. Maybe the night hasn't even ended and he's not asleep. You know what I mean? But it is like the crack of dawn whenever he gets up. No, just does not skip a beat. Just comes just out the door. Does one of these to anyone who's still left inside. And he also finds his way to the market, but it's a different market. Gus is trying to get out real early to catch all of the producers. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to like the market that the restaurateurs, the house chefs, and everything are going to get their everything for the day before the ribble rabble. The regular citizenry, the regular degulars go out there and get theirs. Purpose is not to buy anything, but he's really just looking to hit up anyone who's in need of a sous chef, someone, a head chef even for their household, preferably a noble one. And if not that, then some sort of, real fancy restaurant, even if it's just a day's worth of work or a week's, whatever. He's just trying to kind of get it in with that crowd of the city, being a chef himself.
Definitely. You go out into, and it's like barely light out as you see some of like the fishermen bringing in their catch from the day. You see people milling about that from like some of the different like butlers and different like head maids that are preparing like whatever supplies are needed for the day. Everyone's kind of milling about, and you also know this is like the best period for the gossip storm that happens among the different people that are working with nobility.
Gus is very interested in the gossip.
You also
storm.
know it's almost time for like the different debutante balls to begin as spring arrives and the new group of debutantes to come and get to go through that scenario. But it's also a time where people are hiring, and you kind of weave your way through hearing little pieces of gossip as you see the different catch of the day. You hear that one of the I would say not necessarily a government official, but someone that has some connections. Recently, was working with a something about a rose society, but no one knows what that means really. And you hear another one say that the mistress of the house had certain things going missing in like small pieces of jewelry, um things that were misplaced and then put in places that she would never put them. uh Almost all these different things that could possibly be a creature in her house.
Mm-hmm.
You may be able to help with that.
I like comment, but in just like in a very passerby kind of way. Like I don't stop walking. I kind of look back in the direction and go, sounds like your mistress has something of a rapscallion of a daughter, or perhaps a servant with sticky fingers. Good day. And then just keep walking. Just like pay them no mind whatsoever ever again.
They give you a stare and then they just start whispering back and forth. You, as you're weaving through, you see someone dressed a little bit different, more working clothes, a different cap, just looking like starting the day's travels, has a large messenger bag and comes up to you.
Oh no, I mean no cash. Good day.
No. It's
Just
I've been paid.
past you.
It's just this for you.
What is this?
It's a letter.
It's for me. Are you sure?
Yes, they gave me a physical description because they said they couldn't find your address.
But well, that makes sense. I don't have one.
All right. Well, here's this letter.
Is this the cat? Do I need? Is this a tipping situation?
No,
Does one usually good?
We're good. We're good.
Thank you. I
Yes.
just in the inside vest pocket. Just I'll probably find like a fruit vendor, grab an apple or something. Toss them a coin, and then just start. I'm really curious. Just bust into this letter.
All right. And then we have Calvin. Calvin, where are you this spring morning?
I am home in my foyer. I am talking to a whole bunch of people at my house. I'm telling them, my tales of being a private eye. Really charming, very funny. I'm telling them about the time I, maybe killed a werewolf or someone who was in dog fur. Don't know. Doesn't matter. So I'm just charming up everyone. Just
Nice.
people taking notes. I'm teaching them. All about the world and what I've seen my 33 years, which is old now. So
yeah, it's old now. It's crazy times. But you are at the table. There's a bunch of people there. There's a coffee table in the middle. People are serving tea and like different morning biscuits and cakes and little sandwiches that just a general party feel. And one of the newer private detectives that came to see you just for having like just a different problem as far as there was some petty theft going on. They were blaming certain things, but I don't know how to see this through. I try to get information from people and they just slam a door in my face. I don't quite know. How do you do it?
Well, take a knee right now. Just take a knee. Let's just talk it out. See, I can tell by the way you look and the way you speak that you're not really the smartest in this room. But what you do is you charm the person. You ask them, what their favorite color is for the food. Ask them the type of plays they like. Then next thing you know, they tell you anything you want to know.
He's like writing down these
Yeah,
like tips, like it's like the best thing he's ever heard. Like just notating everything, and just nodding. Other people are as well, like putting their 2 cents in, but they are looking to you as far as this morning get together goes. It's a rather nice time. People are tired of being cooped up in the winter. Usually you have a little bit more investigating to do sometimes in the winter because people are so cooped up, and usually that's when people do things that aren't necessarily the most savory activities. But you hear a knock at your door.
Oh, that's odd. I mean, I guess I'll get the door. I gave my waiter and my butler the day off because I'm a nice guy, so I'll go and I'll open it.
There's a messenger.
Oh, nice. How can I help you? Well, you're a little late for the party, but
Oh, sorry. Wonderful party you're having.
Yeah.
This is for you. Rather important. I was supposed to get this to you as soon as possible.
oh, okay. A little late, but all right, cool. Do you want a tip or anything?
No, sir.
I can give you
is
some good
nothing.
advice. You want to take a knee? And I can
That
just...
would be
You wanna
wonderful.
take it?
Okay. All right. Listen. How old are you?
Oh, just okay. Well,
Come on, quick.
I don't want my superiors to know, but I'm 14.
Oh,
I gotta be
that's
18 at work
wonderful.
right now,
Okay.
and
Prime
Here's the
working.
thing. Never look a bird in its eye. Can't trust them.
okay,
You're welcome.
okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Oh.
much.
Mhm. That's worth more than money, by the way, my tip.
It really is. I learn from the best. And he just like nods, like takes his hat off and like holds it to his chest and like backs out of the yard. And you have a letter.
Oh, nice. Is this, how urgent is this? Can I place this on the wall, or like, I guess I'll open it and
All right.
read it.
As you all are opening your letters for the day, they are addressed to you in your name, no aliases, nothing of the sort, but it reads, "We've recently discovered your gift of sight and formally request your presence at the Rose office in London, England. Enclosed are tickets to the nearest transportation. Once in London, go to the Browns Hotel. A woman with a red rose will meet you in the lobby. Make preparations. You will not be back in quite some time. Signed, the Society."
I kind of read mine twice. The gift of sight. No one has gifted me spectacles. Ever. It's odd.
As you guys let that sink in, you guys have heard of the Society. Once you can see things that no one else can, that's when you have to worry about them. They're not a bad group of people. Far from it. They try to keep people safe from Vaesen that could cause danger to other people. But that also means that the life that you've had, you've kept private, some of you for longer than others. That changes. Once they know what you can do, they sometimes will assign you to different places. But it's not always the worst thing because you get paid quite a bit. In fact, your family usually gets money, you get money, and you usually get the castle sometimes. Just depends on what's needed, but it's an entirely new life. It's an entirely new thing. But one thing about the Society is they're persistent. They'll find where you are. There's cells everywhere.
Yeah, I think Camilla will kind of, as she's kind of sitting off to herself, kind of sipping her drink and kind of looking at it. And she just, kind of under her breath, very unladylike, well, shit. Another one of these. All right, then. Looks like we're going to need something stronger, and then we better get on the road. And she has this habit of just kind of talking to herself like there's someone else there. And she's mostly been a lot by herself, so she is just used to just talking out loud. And so she kind of leaves a couple coins at the table, and then we'll kind of head off to actually buy some liquor, some whiskey or something as she can for the road, and we'll kind of grabs travel snacks, grabs your road trip snacks, and then we'll proceed to wherever the travel destination is, or wherever the coach is, or wherever the transportation is being provided.
It's a quick train ride. Some of you may need to take a boat, but luckily, once you guys there, in almost a wonderful planned way, you all arrive on the same day.
Love that for us.
Great.
Nice. I'm writing a book anyway, so I could use some new things.
You know that you'll definitely be on quite an adventure that will definitely give you many stories to tell.
Nice.
But you all arrive whether at the docks, at a train station, or by coach. Some of you maybe even by horse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I able to bring my horse with
Yeah,
me?
you can bring your horse. One thing that is to note, there's no cars at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's stagecoaches, horses, and walking. Big transportation is done by train or boat. No planes. Travel takes a while.
Yeah, seeing as I don't think Augustine was in England, it definitely arriving on the docks by boat. Just has whatever luggage. He has probably just a bag slung over his shoulder, but he does have like one big, like sealed wooden case that is a little cumbersome. He has to potentially hire someone to move that for him.
Definitely can do that. You guys filter in. Who would I guess say would be the fastest to get to the destination of the lobby of the Browns Hotel?
I have a buggy. It's really fast. I made it fast. I have even like a little clicker for the security. Just a hamster just pressing me down on a lock. But I trained it, so I'm there.
Oh,
yes, that's great.
I love it. You arrive at the Browns Hotel. This is the epitome of Victorian luxury. You see grand chandeliers, beautiful tile floors, large velvet couches, and you see a lobby grand. Not many people in it. Not many people traveling to London yet. Most people are figuring out where they're going to take their summer holiday probably at this point in time, but it's rather nice.
Mm-hmm. Do we have an idea of how long we're going to be at this hotel?
You do not.
I find the hotel bar.
Nice.
I bring my case with me. I bring whoever's bringing my case. I'm like,
very nice. You guys all filter into the lobby at this time, I would say.
Yeah.
However you arrive.
I have my temporary valet crack the case open with a crowbar, and then I search around its contents. They're all identical. They're all bottles of mezcal, just in a big row. And I find one that's maybe about 3/4 of the way still full. Pull it out, put it down on the bar, and go, just keep that there behind the bar for me. I will not have you serve me anything else.
Yes, sir.
Good day. Of course. And then I turn to my man and go, close this shit back up. I'm getting out of here.
Augustine, you see a woman sitting at the bar drinking a straight whiskey shot with a little bit of ice.
Okay.
Maybe a cube, not much. mostly whiskey. She has a Gibson girl hair that's kind of like pulled up, and there's a little bun. But what's most notable about her is that at first you think she's just wearing a skirt, and usually at this time, like ladies sitting at a bar, this wouldn't happen very regularly, but she's wearing pants. And she has a red rose in a lapel on her shirt. Or blouse, I should say.
Suppose I approach. I point at the drink. Long morning or late night?
Just waiting for people to arrive. And my lucky day. Augustine, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Is it now?
Yes.
I'm sure. Charmed, I'm sure. Hold out my hand, and like, and you might be.
Maeve Callahan. It's a pleasure. Your other people will be getting here soon. I think I spotted a couple of them in the lobby. We won't be staying here long.
I look at the bartender. Give me that back.
He hands it back.
Well, I just grab a glass myself, pour a little bit.
They let you keep it. Like they know the drill. Calvin, you also notice that you see you don't know his name yet, but Augustine, and you see a woman with the red rose.
Oh, hi. Am I late to a party? How you guys doing?
Calvin, it is great to see you.
Nice. Like the pants.
Of the five.
That's
Hopefully
great.
the rest will be arriving soon.
Yeah, I think Camilla was actually almost like smoking like a cigarette or a cigarette of some sort, kind of outside. Kind of, just kind of taking in, the street and kind of checking everything out before she goes in. And so kind of even off to the side a little bit, probably watched that some people enter, and then we'll kind of sigh and kind of straighten, make sure her dress is straightened, and kind of smooth out her hair a little bit from the travels, and then we'll also kind of head inside to see what this mess is all about.
You head inside. It is a lavish lobby. This is fancy. And you see a group of people standing. One has a large trunk and valet to help.
I think she'll walk up to the bar and order order a wine or a drink of some sort, and just kind of observe what's going on over there, but definitely is not going to just walk up and approach at this point. It's just going to kind of see what's what before she does anything else.
Gotcha.
I think Astrid was really the travel with the horse was a lot. I think she probably took a train. She insisted that the horse be in the human part of the train. And now that we're at the hotel, is like talking as she's coming in, she's like talking to someone who works at the hotel and is like saying, now at 6 o'clock, you're going to need to apply this poultice to Sigrid's knees because she's getting up there in age, but that's no need to treat her any worse than any other horse. She'll need to be cleaned. She'll only eat sweet hay. It has to be sweet hay.
Sweet hay.
Sweet hay. So that's the only thing that she'll eat. And
right?
She also does get a bit homesick when she's away from home. If she's more than, a few hours, she starts to get upset. And so she'll need to have a blanket. And just if you notice that her head starts to droop a little bit, that's when you need to get the blanket. She'll be sad.
Yes, ma'am. We will get right on it. Is there anything else that you may need?
Yes, if someone could bring me a cold water and a shot of apple cider vinegar, that would be wonderful for me. I could really use it for
All
after
right.
my travels.
I will get someone right on it. If you would like to go inside now.
Yeah, she nods assertively and then goes over to the bar where everyone else is.
You see the woman in pants and out the red rose on her blouse and says, Astrid, right?
That is me, Astrid. You finally got me after a while. I was managing to keep things on a little bit secret. And your name is, young lady?
Maeve, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm so excited to get everyone. All right. Technically 4, the other one's trying to make sure that we don't see her, but that's okay. One more left.
I'd say that Jerome is definitely the last one. I mean, he prefers to be able to travel with his horse and, of course, with his dog, and not every travel arrangement would allow him to take them both, especially with the amount of care and attention he wants to give T-Bone. So I'd imagine that as they're coming into town, he's fascinated by the sights. T-Bone's being pulled every which way. Salisbury, like Jerome is trying to make sure that Salisbury is like staying calm because there's a lot more noise here than there is in the forest. But by the time we get to the hotel, what I imagine is that T-Bone is like sniffing in the air and smells something familiar because well, Jerome has had T-Bone for quite a while and has had T-Bone since he and Gus were traveling buddies, and T-Bone smells Gus and immediately dashes in and runs into the bar, and just when he sees Gus, goes in for the tackle.
Oh
And-
yeah, you just Gus, go ahead and roll me a precision vigilance check.
Okay, let's see. what
Or
I
sorry,
have for
not
this.
precision. It should be logic. My bad. I don't know why
Okay.
I told precision last time. My brain.
Vigilance. Oh, okay. So precision.
Or
No,
logic.
You said logic. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
I forgot it was a logic skill, not precision.
I got a 6. Just one though.
Nice. That's all you need. Yeah, you spot a dog and a very familiar one that just start running towards you at a high speed. It will try and pounce.
I'm running.
But
I'm running
it's
right
friendly.
back. Right into it.
Yeah, if you've seen those videos where like the trick jump like German Shepherd, it basically does the trick jump hug like right up to Augustin as it just licks your face and is so excited and
Love it. Didn't have a shower today anyway, so I just need a little cleanup.
yeah, some nice dog cleanser. But it is very tail wagging, just incredible little, like when a dog hasn't seen someone in forever, like the little like soft little high pitched barks like when they're so excited to see. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's
both I and Gus love everything about this.
Oh, yeah. And Camilla, once she sees the dog, will be like, oh my gosh, my sweet baby. And we'll just go, only then walk over and we'll address the dog. And she's like, aren't you so cute? Oh, no. And like, not even almost like just imposing themselves now on the dog. and says hello to the rest of you as well.
Oh goodness. Shortly after T-Bone has made his entrance, you'd hear some like clip clopping because I picture is that as people are like moving luggage in, they've got the doors propped open, and Jerome trying to catch up to T-Bone, hoping that T-Bone's okay, is just rushing forward atop Salisbury. And so we're rushing into the hotel and calling out, T-Bone, everything okay?
You see some of the butlers and the different like bellhops on staff kind of crowd around, like trying to figure out what to do. As like you're able to, like, as you zoom in, it's a lower threshold, but you're able to go low onto the horse's neck. The horse lowers its neck, and you guys swooshed through there, making a grand entrance of a horse in a lobby.
Yeah, it's okay. We're supposed to be here, and I'll thrust my invitation towards the people.
Maeve walks up, says, "It's quite all right. I will, we have a deal." And she gives a look to the different bellhops and butlers, and they just say, "Yes, ma'am. Please tell them it wasn't us, okay? It wasn't us. We just wanted to be clear." And they just kind of like filter out as you come up to them. But she kind of gestures and says, "And he makes 5. Welcome to London."
Thank you.
I didn't know we would be allowed to bring our horses in here. I might have to go get...
Oh, you are not allowed to, but things happen sometimes, and, well, it makes the life a little bit more exciting. We probably should be going before the police are called on us now. Probably would be a good idea. Maybe. I've got a carriage outside. I think some of you have your own transportation if needed.
Yeah, I can take some of you guys. I have GPS. Gerbil positions. So, yeah, I can go anywhere you want.
Second gerbil department.
There's like a map under, like there's like in the cage, there's like a map, and the gerbil just runs across it to try and tell you where to go.
He's quite good.
Absolutely.
He's really good.
Knows exactly the route, memorizes everything. So as long as the cheese is at the end, he's good to go. You go towards the exit as you guys are kind of rushing out to get out before police are called.
As I get up to go, I obviously have my dude carrying my thing from like get the address from our benefactor here and just have that shipped up to us. I don't want to see you today. I'm like leaning with my back up against the bar, elbows up, and I just kind of look back at the bartender all nonchalantly. I'm like, you may want to get a shovel. Salisbury's tummy does get upset in new places.
Just like wide-eyed blinks, like just blink, just nod, and you guys, you shuffle on out of there.
Deuces.
You are got a few carriages, and you're told to follow this one where she takes the reins and is in the front of the carriage driving it. It's an open carriage, seats about 4, so you guys will have to kind of split. Some of you guys have horses, but you guys will have to kind of squish into these busy streets, as it is pretty crowded with people coming and going, but that's how it is. People packed in, traveling. There's no real stoplight to say when people can go and not go, so roads are kind of crazy. You guys are led to Euston Street, to what looks like a lavish townhouse. It's the only red building on this street. It's almost gaudy in that fashion. Probably the neighbors of this high society area are probably fuming at why the housing association allows this to happen. But the Rose Society gets what it wants, and what is easier to find than a bright red building in the middle of London? You guys are led. Unfortunately, the door is not big enough for a horse to enter this time, so there cannot be horse in the foyer.
Right.
What world is this? Can't have a foyer horse anymore.
Yeah.
Astrid
We're gonna need a
Ridiculous.
bigger house for that. Maybe a castle. We'll have a
Ridiculous.
horse in the foyer in the castle.
The
But
store's gonna need to be enlarged.
yeah,
Absolutely.
You have a
first order
four-year
of business.
horse. 4-year horses for everyone.
Astrid definitely gives whoever works here the same rundown with the everything that Sigrid needs to be taken care of. And yeah,
They are
the whole checklist
incredibly
again.
accommodating, and you see that they have like in the little stables area that they lead the horses and the carriage to. They have an entire little basically the little, like, I guess, stable area for the horse. It has all the sweet hay, everything that you would require
Perfect.
already there and ready, which is a little unsettling of how they know that, but they are prepared.
Astrid's impressed.
I'm not.
It's I will say, Calvin, this is everything appears tacky. I will say to you, like, it's not new fashion. It's a bright red house. Why are they doing this? It's
too clean. Way too clean. Yeah. There's not much. It's just too clean. Clean places have dirty secrets. I just made that up. That's pretty good.
Very good.
The Calvin quote.
Yep. Can't trust a bird.
Can't trust
It's too
her.
clean.
can't trust a bird.
It's too clean.
Don't look it in
can't.
the eye. Can't trust a bird.
It's too clean. And Camilla will kind of look up at the thing and then just kind of have a big smile, and we'll kind of walk by, if Calvin's stopping and making it just too clean, and she leans in and says, "Won't it be fun to figure out what's wrong though?" And then she kind of makes her way inside.
It's a rather nice house, which is odd for an office, but it is a house. There's a hallway entrance with a spiral staircase, marble flooring, a chandelier, and you see to the left is a small sitting room with a coffee table. You see a cigar box. There is a bunch of different spirits, including mezcal, over at the little station with actually ice, which is rather hard to come by, and to actually have an ice closet and cupboard at this time, that takes a lot. But it's there.
So who's drinking? Oh, I'm not gonna pour it for you. I'm just what you're drinking. Yeah, I'm not gonna help. I'm just making conversation because it was awkward.
Jerome is gonna make a big deal about, oh no, I'm a designated driver, and he'll just kind of point out to where Salisbury is.
Is Salisbury drinking?
Oh, no.
It implies.
I don't think horses can drink here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no horses in the drinking foyer, unfortunately. But
This is in Madrid after all.
Those are good times.
Maeve gestures to the sitting room and just says, go ahead and help yourselves. In a little bit, the mistress will be down, and well, actually, no, she probably doesn't want to go downstairs, so we'll just lead you to the room in a little bit. Gotta get her ready. She's not a morning person, so good luck. We'll come down for you.
Gus approaches the bar, opens the bottle of mezcal, gives it a sniff, and then grabs the flask from his holster that he holds on, has his little thigh holster, opens it, does a comparison, a little shake, drains the flask, and then tries to refill it from the bottle on the bar without spilling.
Impressive.
Oh, and a lot of practice.
So we're something of an odd crew. How did
Yeah.
you all end up here?
Well, I received a letter.
Me too.
I guess we all did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's me. I'm famous. You guys know me, Calvin. You guys wanna? I assume you guys, Jerome. That's
Yes.
who you are. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Yeah.
Killed a werewolf or a dog or a person with dog fur.
We don't know yet. That's still up in the air, but whatever I
Could
did
be
was
all
great.
three.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be all three.
So, anyone feeling weird about this place? Like creepy? Is it? Okay.
Well, let's and Camilla lean forward. Camilla Ness. Nice to meet everyone. I don't know that it's necessarily any stranger than anything some of us have probably seen in our times, and besides, it's something different at least. Entertainment, possibly some money. So why don't we all just kind of see what they have to say? And as far as we know, the door's still open, and if we don't like it, we leave. And she'll just kind of take a sip out of her drink and then just kind of settle in.
I've heard once you get caught up in something here, it's hard to get untangled. But
that's a good one.
see.
That's pretty good.
I'm all right at getting myself untangled. You just, once they tie you to the bed, you just gotta really swivel the wrist a little bit and you slip right out.
Explain.
Is this not what we're talking about?
Yeah, he's talking about.
I
He's
just
talking
pour
about
myself a drink.
sex. Intercourse is what he was talking about, which is confusing because we were talking about something else.
I've had to help out a lot of young couples in strange positions in my line of work, and I would say just be careful when you're being tied up. That's all I have to offer.
I am agile.
Hey, better to be tied up than tied down.
It's another
I
Calvin
just
quote.
thought of that. There's another one. I'll write that one down. That's going in the book. That's in the book. To be.
Camilla, the house has an interesting aura about it that you can kind of sense. There's a feeling of like the age of the house it looks to be newly built, but it's like many lives have been lived here. Many things have happened, and it has a sense of like a melancholy as well as like an excitement that's hard to kind of figure out what is more than the other.
Can I kind of go off to the side and kind of take out a cup and essentially I'm going to try to do a quick medium check as one of my talents, if that's possible, but nothing
Absolutely.
overarching, but just kind of, there's probably some bones and probably some dice, that are in there, and the dice have come from probably burned up houses or, from dead people or something along those lines. And she just simply wants to take a wooden cup and just kind of shake it and then turn it over on the table and then kind of take a peek at it. That's going to be observation.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll empathy with it? So empathy.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a big old fat 8 dice.
Oh boy, let's go.
1, 2 successes. And she's kind of just looking for kind of like the energy of the place, like kind of, how dangerous it is here, just kind of, are we in danger? Like just kind of feeling it out a little bit.
You sense that with the medium check, you don't feel here you are in danger, but you feel that there is danger that starts here.
Okay. And then she'll kind of tuck her stuff away, and probably knows that you're always being observed, but she's not the strangest thing that's going on in this place. So she feels pretty, just kind of tucks her the wooden cup back in her one of her little small bags.
You guys sit, enjoy drinks, and eventually Maeve comes down, says, "The mistress is ready. Be warned, she's not in the great mood today. Come on, I'll show you the room." Uh, she leads you up the spiral staircase. You see pictures. Some are paintings of these, like almost, some of them look to be older paintings of like maybe back in, God, does that look like Camelot? Does that look like different coat of arms? You see these different shows of almost like myths that you've seen, or not shows, I guess, these different paintings. You see, actually, they were able to get a camera, and you see, I would probably say that Jerome and Camilla noticed this, possibly. But you notice the Uppsala society. There's no picture there. You are led up through the staircase into an attic. You, Camilla, sense that this is warded. You're entering a warded room against spirits, against creatures, and those with ill will. You enter a room with an old table. Round table with different coat of arms at the different points. There are chairs surrounding it, and you see an older woman in a black dress, lace up to the neck, with a hawk cane. And she stares at you all and says, "Welcome to the society. And we're going to go on break."
Awesome. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes, so stay tuned. Bye. Welcome back, everybody, to Chaotic Wonderful, where we are rocking with our mini campaign of Vaesen. So, without any further ado, let me kick it back over to our wonderful game master this evening, Mary.
So at the first part, you all have gotten your letters from the society, have made your way from your homes to London, England to go to the Rose headquarters. A red, gaudy building of a townhouse led up to an attic with a round table and coat of arms at each of the chairs. A woman, she's African American with another Gibson girl, but more instead of how it's teased up, it's made out of braids. She has a little hawk cane and is sitting at what would be the head of a round table if there was a head of a round table, but she's at the opposite end. She gestures to you all after she said, "Welcome to the society. Can you sit down so we can get started? There's a lot to do today."
Camilla will walk in and take a seat, kind of, like one or two away, but not, right next to it, but kind of off to one of the sides, and will kind of slide herself into the chair, a little bit sideways to kind of lean back on one of the sides, and then we'll just kind of sit waiting patiently, waiting to hear what they have to say.
I will not sit. I will stand. Just because I make the rules and I control my body. So I will be standing and listening.
Astrid looks for the comfiest seat to sit in, and when she sits down, she does definitely like a lot of sighs.
Absolutely.
Puts her feet up on an ottoman.
Nice. If there's any sort of chair that's plushier or some part of the carpet that's plushier, Jerome is probably gonna sit down. I'm picturing a carpet. He's gonna sit down there and usher T-Bone over because he knows that T-Bone is gonna love that the most. But
Yeah,
he'll sit there.
it's like a throw rug that's under the table. That's probably a lot cushier than the wooden chairs.
Perfect.
They appear to be old, well taken care of, but are like the large back with arms on them. There's a little bit of a cushion on the arms and a little bit on the back in the actual seat, but it's mostly just entirely made out of wood. Very nice dark stained wood, and there's a coat of arms on each of the back of the chairs. The floor is rather cushy. It's a nice ornate rug that has horses and different roses all interwoven in a beautiful design underneath. Okay, this is so, geez, why did I...
And actually, before we get started, and I'll kind of lean back, Calvin, can you come sit with me in case I have any questions, in case there's something I don't understand? I'd appreciate another gentleman's opinion while we're getting the information. So would you mind sitting with me, please?
I'll take a knee beside you, yes.
And I will she'll kind of then wink at Maeve and say and ask her to continue.
Now then.
I kind of look around expecting silverware. I'm just kind of tapping. And I say, so is the menu set or will there be is it set courses or will there be a menu to peruse?
Oh, we got all the rich kids. Great.
Or are we the food?
No, there will be no food. This is a meeting of business, not a dinner, not a breakfast. You'll get it on your way to the museum.
Turn to Jerome. I'm like, remind me to tell you about the time I was in a house like that. I was almost food.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I think teacher's looking at us though, so later.
Yeah, later.
She wraps her cane on the ground and it echoes a lot louder than the noise should make. Are we ready? Great. Do you know what you are? Do you know what your abilities are? Or do you need the full explanation of what you can do?
Well, sometimes I can see what's going to happen or what has happened. If we're
I'm
being
an
honest.
Aries. What I am. No, I don't know what I am.
Right? That's fine. You're what's known as Thursday's children. People that can see the unseen, the thing that goes bump in the night. You get the pleasure to deal with Vaesen. They're not all bad. Some of them are rather great. I mean, there were a few interesting parties with the Fae. Rather not like to go back to them. They try and trick you to stay there for years. But my name is Ada Carmichael. I
Hi.
am the head of the Rose headquarters. You'll be dealing with me at least until you get your own headquarters. Currently, the reason you're here is that the Uppsala headquarters has disappeared. The people have vanished. You don't know why, don't know how, but they're gone. No trace, no goodbye letter, up and disappeared.
Is this headquarters also a lovely brownstone painted red?
No, it's a castle. Rather large, needs a little bit of work, but it is a little bit different.
Did the people disappear or like the entire castle?
Oh, the people did. Castle is still there, not as well taken care of. It's been a little bit. We didn't find out about it till a little bit ago, and by then they'd been gone for almost 6 months. It's harder to get messages during the winter. That's why we need you. If you can prove yourselves as able to handle Vaesen, you get Uppsala. It's a tiny town up in Sweden. Not that bad. Nice people. It's a little cold, but
So
we
what do we
need help.
get?
We
What
get
do we get?
We get it?
What do you mean?
You get to
town.
protect it.
Oh.
It's in your charge.
Get
Just like
or
London is
have
mine.
to.
Oh.
Well, I guess it depends on your outlook on life.
Yeah, so we solve this thing and then we get a job, another job. That's our reward is working. That's like cops for this town.
I guess if you put it like that, it doesn't sound as desirable.
No.
But it isn't all like average work. You'll get to travel the world, see things no one else will ever see, and do things no one else will ever do.
So to clarify, we solve the problem, you give us a castle, you pay us to travel, and we get to see the unknown, the strange, and the fantastic, and sometimes go to parties with them.
Correct.
Well, I'm in. Calvin, you'll be coming too, because you'll need to write this down in any of your books with your other quotes. And pissing around in your castle and place by yourself has probably gotten quite boring. And I'm pretty sure that the rest of our friends here probably don't have much to do with their time unless they're going to go poke around for the next time that they're going to be food. You might as well pay to be food. They're going to pay us to be food, which is, Augustine, probably a step up from where you were before. And Jerome, please bring your dog.
Oh no, I was paid. I backed out on that deal.
Astrid, you're obviously intelligent and forthwith and couldn't keep the rest of us in line when our worst parts come out. So I'm good to go.
I can do my best, and I did take an oath to help anyone who needs to be helped, and it sounds as though there are people who need to be helped.
And also
Many.
the LMS.
Yeah.
Jiro,
They
have we
s-
been to Sweden?
It's rather nice. I went up there a couple of years ago. Had to
Oh.
deal with a few, what do they call it? The river spirits there that play instruments.
Oh,
Can't remember exactly what that was, but there's a few of them up there.
great. Gus, I don't think we had gone, but we were thinking about it. Now that I know there's river spirits, I think that's right up your alley.
Trolls.
Yeah. Gus like kind of tenses up when you mention this river spirit. Plays instruments, you say. What happens when they play them?
It depends. Does the person fall into the river or not? Can they shake their wits about them, or do they fall to the deep? Sometimes they like to claim people.
I
I've
may
got
have
a-
business with these river things.
I'll be sure to pack my bag with plenty of cotton balls for our ears.
That would be helpful. Most Vaesen I dealt with usually use powers that rely on sight or hearing. It's a wise decision. You're rather well trained, Astrid, and there's many different types of new herbs and medical practices up there that might be interesting to you.
I
And
grew
Calvin,
up in Sweden, so I'd like to return.
if you've ever wanted a good story, you'll
Yeah.
find it in Uppsala.
Okay.
Ada, you mentioned trolls. Is the troll school system good there?
Very. The forests of Uppsala are dense and very populated with a variety of different trolls. Forest
Great.
and rock.
Phenomenal. Thank you. Good to know.
As Calvin has said before, the forest is dense, but the students are not.
Write that one down, Calvin.
I'm writing it down. That's pretty good.
Now that we have that settled, your task. Recently at the British Museum, little things have gone missing, things they want back. It doesn't appear to be humans taking them. They've had weird things. Random security guards at night forget where they're going and are staring at a wall for an hour without checking another wing. I need you to go there, figure out what's going on, and make them at least somewhat happy. I hate that museum, but they do pay us money.
Oh.
What exhibit do they have this month?
Let's see. I believe some of the bronzes have been disappeared. A few from the Egyptian rooms. No mummies, thankfully. I think they would have died if one of them went missing. They're very particular about their things, even though they're not theirs, but whatever.
Okay, cool.
They're in a
how
tizzy about it.
All right. So, should we get on the boat? How are we getting there?
Excellent question. We have carriages that are needed. If you need to get supplies, you're welcome to do so. Most activity happens at night, from what we've heard. Everything is quiet during the day. They have plenty of research material there on different myths. It's a large library, as well as a different museum exhibits. 2 floors. I've have a map for you. They probably have a better detailed one. And then in the Discord, Mary GM talking, there is a map of the British Museum from 1898. I don't own the rights to this, so I can't show it to you on Twitch, but it's really cool. But you have the map there. Ada goes as she hands the map towards the middle of the table. You'll need to figure that out sooner the better to get them off us, so to speak. I'd rather not do things that the museum would meddle into, and they like to see the weird and unusual. If we make them happy, they don't look into us.
Why aren't you going with us?
I'm old. I don't want to do it. I put in my 10,000 hours. I don't have to do it anymore. I get to sit here, tell you all what to do, and make sure this place runs and isn't burned to the ground by cultists as she takes a drink.
Astrid rolls her eyes when Ada says that she's old as a reason for not doing something.
No one tells me what to do, but I'll do this for the people and my publishers. So let's do it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's settled then. And Camilla will stand up and say, it was wonderful meeting you. Thank you for letting us into your wonderful red house. And I hope we live. And she will kind of see herself out.
She kind of murmurs under her breath. Me too, I'd hate to find new people.
Yes, finding good help is difficult. Any weapons that we can get on the way out? A set of
Yes.
lockpicks, something along those lines, if we're going to be snooping around in places at night?
Yes, the basement does hold a variety of items necessary for investigation. Go ahead and have a look for yourselves. Do keep in mind we don't have endless amounts of cash, but you can use what you can turn back in.
Fair enough.
How's the food situation? Are we going in the cold? Should we pack our lunch?
The butler has prepared a nice breakfast for you as you gear up, and most of the day, at least, investigation-wise, you should have time to go for meals and such. Most of the activity that you need to be on your toes about would be at night. And unless you eat a midnight snack, might not be necessary, but if you need to bring
You're not?
snacks, I'm asleep by 9 p.m.
On purpose.
Yes.
Sleeping sickness or something.
She
9
just
p.m.
rolled
That's
her
ghastly.
head.
Normally, when people say that, they have alcohol problems, but none of our business. We don't judge.
Yeah, Camilla has left at this point. She left. She laughed after Gus
Opened his
mentioned the
mouth.
sleeping sickness, and then she just kind of toddled off to go find food and something to kill stuff with or investigate stuff with.
Very nice. Yeah, you guys are welcome. The basement holds all the equipment. Real quick, you guys have resources to spend. This basically gives you an amount of dice you get to roll. How many successes you get is what you get to spend on equipment. Equipment gives you extra abilities as well as usually gives you like an additional dice to your different checks when made with the equipment. You can only use one piece of equipment per check. So it's like you can use one. So you're not, I'm going to use the binoculars and the seeing eyeglass and everything else together. You can't combine them, but you can use one. So if you go to the resource section on your sheet, it'll have a number. That's how many dice you roll. And however many successes you get, you can all pool your successes or spend them individually, up to you. That's what you get to spend on equipment. Equipment starts on 74. But is there anything that, looking at things right now, you guys want? Just in general.
Camilla will be looking for a longbow and a set of lockpicks primarily. One, both, that's fine. She does mostly ranged combat if there's going to be combat, but she only got one success, so she might not be getting much.
So Jerome is typically quite wealthy, but clearly he shouldn't have giving that extra $5 away because I have 0 successes to
Oh
contribute.
no.
I only got 1. I got 2 5s, which is heartbreaking, but only 1 6.
Yep, that was painful too.
I have a question. I
Yes.
have already a doctor's bag with medical equipment. I know some of this equipment is like additional healing stuff. Is there any benefit to getting extra, or is it a thing where like if you have medical equipment, you have medical equipment? Like I see there's like bandages, that kind of thing.
Medical equipment is required to perform medicine checks. And it gives you a +2 bonus to the medicine check.
But it isn't like used. Is it like used up if I use my medical bag, or is it like you can still use it more than one time?
We're gonna say, at least for the mini campaign, that it's you have to basically restock up, but it's
Okay.
basically your free item. We're not gonna get too crunchy about like
Okay.
rolling to see if it's used up or not.
Okay.
So, but for at least this works, you basically can re-up your medical equipment per mystery, and go from there.
Okay.
So I have a 7 for my resources. So what does that mean? I roll 7
So you roll
times?
7d6,
Nice.
and then however many 6s you get is how many successes that you can spend on equipment.
Should I have 2 dice? Because right now it only shows 1. Or should I just?
Is it on the dice? Are you using the Google dice?
Yeah, I'm
roller?
using. Yeah,
I think if you click, there's like
Just-
a add more
yep.
dice thing.
You'll just click
Okay.
the blue D6, the number of times that you need, and then it will just keep rolling them as you click them. Or if it doesn't the first time, then you hit the roll button.
Okay.
And then if they end up a 6, it's a success.
Okay. And I can do that 6 times, right, or 7 times?
7 times.
Okay.
You rich.
He rolled really well on the charts. It was awesome.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 7.
You got 7 successes?
Oh no, I should count them. So I got 1 success out of 3. This is another success. Oh, okay. So I have 4 success.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Calvin is ready to play. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
One
as
success,
far-
Gus.
Yeah. Gus also rolled 7. He doesn't like to spread that around that he's actually loaded. He's just a chef.
Gotcha.
He's just a sassy chef.
Just a sassy chef.
So yeah, Gus is contributing 1 to this pool.
All right.
Mm.
So we got
I have 1.
1, and then 1, 1, and then 4. And then you got a goose egg.
Yeah.
So we have 7 successes total to spend. Did you guys want lock picks?
I think that's
Yeah.
just full. If we're gonna be in the museum, there's probably gonna be stuff locked up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna spend 2. So if you use that, you're gonna have 5 left, but you get a +1 bonus to picking locks with stealth.
Okay.
Does anyone have a higher stealth than what did I put? Mine's a 3. My stealth is a 3.
It's 0.
My precision is 5.
I'm at 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
same. You seen how I walk into a room? I'm not.
So yeah, that's another rolling 8 dice again.
All right.
Okay, I added that.
People wanted weapons, right? So we should maybe figure out weapons. Astrid can't use them, so I'm fine with whatever.
I technically have a gun already. It's in
Me
my
too.
Nice.
Same.
I have a dagger, but for some reason
How
I
about-
chose rage combat.
How about a compass?
Ooh,
What do you guys think? Or a lamp? Or is just going to be dark there, so that might be the best.
I also have a hurricane lamp.
Oh,
you do?
already.
Mhm.
Should we compare notes about what equipment we already
Yeah,
have?
what does
Yeah, we
everyone
should say
have?
that.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
So I've got those, and I also have a field kitchen kit.
Oh, nice.
So I can make us a little snack in the museum.
Nice.
Astrid, what do you have?
I've got a doctor's bag with medical equipment. I've got extremely strong poison, fine wines, and my weak horse.
Okay, Gus.
Oh, word. I have a revolver. I have a hurricane lamp, and I have a field kitchen.
Okay.
And your mezcal,
And you're
Right.
because that
That's
gives you a
my-
bonus.
That's my, what is it called? My
Memento?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a crystal ball, a fancy disguise, strong poison, and now lockpicks and a dagger, and then my father's cane that I carry.
Okay. I have a book collection, lockpick, revolver. I can't say that word. Knuckle duster, and a musical instrument.
Nice.
So yeah,
I've
I think
got
we're
Nice.
pretty
a rifle. I've got my trusty hunting dog, T-Bone. And I've got hunting equipment, which helps with investigation in the wilderness. I don't know if that'll come into play in a museum.
If you can come up with the creative solution for how to use
Yeah.
it, I will give it to you
Sick.
100%.
So it
you.
looks like we need. I saw the map. It looks a little confusing. So maybe we need a compass or something like that along those lines.
It's not
I will
bad
say
idea.
the map will work as a compass, and it'll give you a +1 to your like different navigating through the
Okay, so
maze of rooms.
we already have that.
So you're gonna already have that. And I'm gonna say-
Binoculars?
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say maybe binoculars would be nice.
Definitely. That is 2 availability, but that gives you a +2 to vigilance from a distance.
Mm.
Mm.
The one step down from that is opera glasses, and it only costs 1.
Okay.
Oh, classy.
Which you could have it flavored as a spectacle or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
How about a rope? Anyone have a rope?
Rope is the other one I was thinking that would be useful.
That would come in
Yeah.
handy. I was thinking of that too.
Yeah, let's get one of those.
And it's only one
Yeah.
Yeah.
availability.
Yeah. Did you say Calvin has a lockpick already?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, so we
So
did not
should
need
we-
to buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, should
Oh.
we get another one or should we put
No.
that put that lockpick back?
Okay, cool.
Let's put those lockpicks back.
Yeah, I guess you guys can use mine. That's fine.
So,
Okay, so
don't
then
have
we
to.
spent 1 on rope.
mhm.
All right.
And
Lockpicks.
2 on binoculars.
I think the +2 would be
That
nice,
is
but if
always
people
good.
but if people would prefer opera glasses, we could do that.
No, if we're getting rid of lockpicks, then binoculars is fine.
Word.
How about weak poison? Just throwing it out there. Just-
I have strong poison. I think the doctor has
I have extremely strong poison.
Okay.
We got a lot
Yeah.
of poison, toxicity 9 and 6.
I had a
Holy
rival
cow.
in my past, but we won't talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind a bow of some sort, whether that be just a regular bow, if everyone's okay with that. So I have something to do from ranged.
Yeah, let's do that. And then we have a rope with it, so we could probably do some stuff with that.
Mhm.
Bow and rope.
Definitely.
I see a slide rule on here. Is there a slide whistle? I think Gus would have fun with that.
Yeah. Do we have chemical equipment?
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh, that is handy. Determine cause of death with investigation.
Ooh,
Yeah. What do you guys think?
that sounds awesome.
We have
Mhm.
space.
Do
We
it.
have the,
Yeah.
and then also, can we give ourselves with one of the resources, give ourselves a benefit, like for the area? Like, can we say that with like Gus's and Calvin's, influence, they might know someone at the museum that allow
Absolutely.
us. I
Oh, that's
think
cool.
we can use our resources for that as well, for like a one-time benefit. Is that correct?
Yep, you can
called
have
bribery.
someone on the inside.
Yeah.
I'll
would-
say for a basic person, so like let's say for like if you want a janitor or a regular librarian or an average security guard, I'm gonna say that's a 1. And I'm gonna
Okay.
say for a 2, that's someone in management.
How many resources do we have left?
You've spent 5 so far with the rope, binoculars, and the chemical equipment.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we? So we don't need the bow, right? Is that still?
Oh,
Or
the
think we
don't
bow
need the bow, yeah.
would
Oh,
be either
right.
a 1 or a
It's-
2 availability.
It's I
So-
think the 1 is the
Okay.
a 1 is the simplest availability if we can do that.
Okay.
So we
Yep.
have
And then
we
you have 1 left, so you could have a security or
Mm.
librarian.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's do security because we need like some escape plans or whatever.
Easier to get into, probably.
Yeah. We can probably get in at night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just get in, and then if we need to unlock any doors, we can use the picks for that.
Yeah.
And at least then we won't be found out. Well, we might be able to get information from them too, or talk to someone. They know the person that was, that one of the people affected, and we might be able to go talk to them too.
And we're technically working like for the museum, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh,
Like because they
That's right.
went to the Rose Society.
that's right. So
So do we need to bribe them?
yeah, do we need them to get in then? GM, do we know if we'd be able to get in at night?
You will get in
without-
at night without them,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it having an inside source, you might be able to use them for other purposes.
So
Yeah, I
maybe
think
the librarian.
We
would
can
get in?
ask them. We can ask them what's going on. Like, have they noticed? Scooby Doo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
So
we
maybe
ask,
shit.
if we know a security person, that could be nice because then they might actually be there at night and we can get like an official, like a real thing that's happening as opposed to whatever the museum is saying if there's like 2 different stories.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad
Yeah.
idea.
I dig it.
I don't
So we'll-
trust the British Museum, so to be honest.
Just have everyone else's stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
found
steal
it.
it from us.
We
Don't
found
steal it back.
We found it when we were there. What do you mean? It's
Back
yours. It's clearly ours. See behind the glass? It's ours.
Yeah. So we have 1 rope, 1 bow, chemistry, equipment, and 1 guard. Right?
And binoculars.
Okay.
Right.
Yep, and that would total up to 7.
Okay.
All right. So everyone happy with that?
I think so.
That sounds
We
all
think
right.
good about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thumbs up.
Cool.
All right. So would you like to head to the museum?
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Word.
All right. You guys have stagecoaches. You can bring your horses if you like. I don't think horses will be allowed into the foyer of the museum.
We'll
Oh,
see.
man.
The door might be big enough. And if you had to break in with a horse, you might as well try it. But it's out there if you want to, but they might not be happy while they're in the museum
Yeah.
during working hours.
All right. All right. I'll
But the
Like-
dog will be allowed since
Okay.
it is equipment.
think.
They'll allow it. As long as you watch it, they will allow it.
All right. All right. If there's someone who will keep an eye on Salisbury while everything's going down, then I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
T-Bone will.
We
Oh no,
we-
T-Bone's coming.
Yeah.
T-Bone's coming. Salisbury has to stay outside, but
Mhm.
T-Bone can come.
Sigrid
love the
can,
steak
Sigrid
named
can
animals.
take care of Salisbury. 2 horses.
Yes.
But yeah, you guys are led to this large building. There's plans to expand as they are almost getting filled to capacity at this point in time with stuff. But you are led in quickly as soon as the front desk sees you and you're introduced as working for the Rose headquarters. You're quickly led up the stairs into part of the back rooms of the first floor, kind of off to the side. There's a little office. It's not really on the map, but for our purposes, it will be. It is the director's office. You are actually led to Sir Edward Mond. Sir Edward Mond Thompson. He is the current director. Large mustache, jolly English fellow. And just welcomes you in. There's a bunch of knickknacks in this office. Not enough seats for everyone, but it's a little office kind of off to the side. Welcome to the museum. We're so happy to have you here and get to the bottom of what's happening.
And what exactly is happening? Things are being taken at night?
Yes, unfortunately, we've had a bit of a problem. Things from different exhibits, small things, have disappeared. Usually during the night, nothing has been broken into. Glass has not been broken. They've been able to get inside it. And small knickknacks have been taken. Now, it isn't that bad of a problem, but if this is some sort of test to steal the mummies or the Rosetta Stone, I don't much like what that would become.
How many items have been taken?
8.
Can we have a list of the missing items or any items that were moved or any of that nature?
Yes. He hands you a handwritten note of 9 different items that you see that there is bronze pieces written out. Some of the Amaravati marbles in the what exhibit is that on? In one of the exhibits, there's some Ashurbanipal reliefs, a bunch of these small things that could be carried away in a pocket. Some of them almost, and some even so for the big marbles have been kind of broken off and pocketed. They found some different arrowheads and things like that from the Aboriginal exhibits. There were the benign bronzes, a couple of the small ones were taken. A bunch of different things. Some even from the new Summer Castle exhibit.
So what they have in common is that they're all small. Is there something else they have in common?
They all bright and shiny? Are they reflective? Are they?
They're all different.
Okay.
There's a few that are sculptures. There's a few that are like the carved reliefs. Some are arrowheads.
What's the biggest?
The biggest one that's been taken was from the Summer Palace. There was a vase taken. Like this like big. Like it was it's from the new China Summer Palace over at the Asiatic room. The rooms that have been involved so far is the Assyrian room, all of the Egyptian rooms, the bronze room, and I can stop if you need a second.
Egyptian.
Syrian, Egyptian, bronze.
Okay.
The ethnographical rooms,
That's word.
the Asiatic saloon.
No, you're just making stuff up.
It's on there.
I know.
The Greco-Roman rooms and the archaic rooms. And this is how they're written on the map that we're referring to.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're all from the first floor, is that right?
Yeah, there's only like 1 or 2 from the ground floor, but the main ones are on the first floor.
Okay.
And could it be raccoons?
If raccoons could learn how
Wedges.
to lockpick, possibly. I've thought of that idea. I don't know how far incredible that is, but a human would have had to somehow get them inside and train them. So there has to be someone behind it. We're just trying to figure out exactly what's going on here.
Okay.
Jerome taught one how to drink from a cup once.
Yeah, it was the cutest thing.
I was told not to question your expertise, and I will not do so.
Thank you.
Let's not rule out raccoon. That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Prime suspect. Just draws a raccoon on this checklist.
On the wall.
Very nice. Now, we have gathered some of the librarians that could help you figure out what has been missing, as well as some of the security guards that have had oddities happen to them. If you would like to talk to them, mostly things happen at night, or so I've heard. I think they probably have been hitting the bottle a little too much. But
That's too much.
that was my question.
When you start to get hallucinations, I think it's too much in my professional opinion.
That's laudanum. Steer clear of that.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could, if I could speak to some of the people who've had some of the oddities happen, that would be quite helpful.
How many people are there?
Well,
Mhm.
the security guards, there's 2 per floor, so 4, and then the head guard. And then the librarians that have been cataloging the disappearance, there is the lead librarian Arthur and his assistant.
Who's the youngest?
The youngest? Oh,
The youngest.
that would be probably the assistant librarian.
Mhm.
Matt,
And the oldest? And the oldest?
oldest, probably. Oh, well. Leonard Hughes, the head security guard.
Okay. I say we start there. Old in there. Cool. Bring them on.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what is everyone? How are you doing this? What's your plan?
Okay.
You are given the entire museum to wander. You are allowed in every section. You have the access to every employee that you could want to talk to. They are helping you implicitly with this.
Wow.
Okay.
Camilla would specifically want to talk to some of the employees. That's more of her thing with manipulation and observation, to try to uncover if anyone's lying, or if anyone's not telling the full truth, or if anyone did see something and didn't want to talk about it because they thought they would be marked as crazy. That's what Camilla would suggest to do first, at least for her.
Yeah. How about me and Cam? We talk to the oldest, and then I don't know. You rest. What you guys want to do?
So, Calvin and Camilla are going to the security guards, and the rest are going to the librarians.
I might.
Or do you
instead
guys
of-
want to split off or do you want to investigate the museum itself to find any evidence? That is also an option too, before nightfall.
Go ahead, Matt. It looks like you had an idea.
I was thinking, like, okay, so Jerome, I wouldn't say that talking with people is Jerome's specialty. So he's probably gonna go to those rooms and look around and see if there are any traces. He's specifically looking for just little tiny handprints and whatnot. So yeah, that's what that's what his
very
aim
good.
is.
All right.
Do we think before it's night, is this like probably like we'll have time to do one thing before there starts to be problems in the museum? Is that the vibe?
It's about like midday, and the activity doesn't usually start till 12 a.m.
Okay. I
So
think
you have time to prepare before nightfall.
I think Astrid definitely wants to, because they mentioned like the library here might have some resources, and like learning and logic are two of my higher things. So at some point, Astrid would probably want to like take the things that we've observed or learned and like go to books and read them. But if we would have time to do that after people have talked to people, then I would wait to do that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. What is Augustin doing?
Wondering why the attendant is late with the charcuterie, but that's neither here nor there. I think I'm
I
gonna
asked for a side of horseradish.
check out what's up with this security guard.
All right. So let's do security guards first.
Okay.
Camilla, Calvin, and Augustin, you all are led to the basement where they have like a different staff rooms, and you see there are 5 people dressed in security garb wear. These must be the night guards as well as the head guard, Leonard Hughes. All kind of sitting there, kind of slouching, talking. One of them is smoking a cigar, and as soon as they see everyone enter, they kind of put out whatever they were doing, hide the poker chips, and they've been waiting at attention this entire time.
Oh no, at ease, gentlemen. There's no need for that. We're just here to ask some questions.
Yeah. You guys want to do good cop, bad cop?
Oh, you two go ahead. I've got a little something I'm going to do myself. And I pull out my field kitchen and begin arranging a bit of, I guess what I was saying, a bit of charcuterie, a bit of crudité, a little something to give these guards a little pep in their step.
It's just us 3, right?
Then Camilla will actually sit down, even at the table where they were playing cards at, and said, "Well, might as well continue while we talk. Who's going to deal?"
I'll deal.
Okay. And I'm assuming the guards will play a hand with us.
Yes, they will definitely do one. Those that are trying to get information, roll a empathy manipulation check.
Okay.
Depending on your equipment, you get. I think that certain equipment gives you like a +1 or 2. Go ahead and check that out. But I don't think you guys have that unless you're disguising yourself, Camilla, which I don't think you are.
No,
so just
I'm happy to use manipulation because my crystal ball lets me do observation. I'm searching for clues, but I'm already rolling 8 dice, so I'm okay.
I got a 3 in investigation. So do I just roll once or 3 times, or?
Yep. So you roll the d6 3 times, and if you get a 6, you succeed. If you don't get a 6, you can fail, or you can push the roll. Now you'll take a condition if you do that, but it gives you a second chance.
I got a 1 and a 5, so I got a 6 first roll.
Nice.
I have I have 2 successes.
And Augustin, are you?
I think.
Or are you observing their actions?
Absolutely. That's where I was going to go. Is like I think as they're questioning, and I'm laying down little plates of food for all the guards first, and then my companions afterwards. We're trying to butter them up a bit. I'm just kind of observe them to see how truthful, forthcoming, etc. their responses are.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll empathy observation for me.
Cool. So that is 5 of these bad boys.
So while you're
1 success.
1 success. Awesome. That's all you need. So for those rolling manipulation, Calvin, you notice that as they are talking and you're getting information out of them, Leonard starts talking and he seems rather boisterous. Like he keeps people in check, but he's not necessarily the most observant security guard. He's supposed to keep items that can't move in a museum where they're supposed to be, doesn't do a job to the exact extent of the line. He does what needs to be done, and that's about it. Horrible at poker and hiding expressions. But you sense, and like with talking, he shares with you that oddities happen on the first floor at midnight.
Hmm.
He's found guards staring at a wall, and specifically, this was in the bronze room. They were staring at a wall and they were swaying side to side.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were watching something, but when snapped out of it, they thought they were watching the room the entire time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Camilla. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that Camilla, you, as you're talking for like some of the other security guards, they are very superstitious about the first floor. If they bring random trinkets that are shiny, they disappear. They will hear doors slam behind them and no one's behind the door. They'll hear whistles, but there's no one else upstairs. They think it's haunted and that the items are haunted themselves.
It's completely reasonable to come to that conclusion. I mean, it's you all don't need to feel crazy when there's crazy things going about. When the crazy is the most reasonable thing that's happening. Obviously, was there any specific trinkets that disappeared faster than others? After the trinkets disappeared, did some of the happenings decrease? After the trinkets disappeared, would they increase, or was there no change?
Oh, increase. Nothing like this ever happened until the first thing was taken. And then it just got worse and worse. And now it's just, I don't like to go up there at night. I do my round as quick as possible and I get back downstairs as soon as I can.
Okay.
And it's only the first
yeah.
floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, some stuff happens on the ground floor, like, but not. I hear growls sometimes, but I just stay away from the Assyrian room.
Assyrian room.
No one wants to go in there.
And why is that?
You see weird shadows and then like you feel like you're being watched and like you're being judged, and I can't explain exactly why, but it's just no one goes in there unless they absolutely have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And what's in the room?
Yeah, what is it? What's held there?
Well, let's see. I know is it the marbles? I'm not quite sure, but as I
So what?
rifle through my notes.
Everyone's afraid to go
well,
in a room with marbles.
No, it's
the reliefs, the Ashurbanipal reliefs, they're
That's
there as well as the new Cyrus cylinder. That's on display. And
Okay.
they're going to be pissed if that leaves. Oh, God, I just can't believe I swore in front of a lady.
well, doesn't make any mind to me. We're playing cards, right? It's all fair when we're all losing money together and we're having a nice meal. And this is something to thank you all for your help. And there's nothing to worry about it. We can say shit and damn as much as we please. And I kind of give him a wink.
Calvin, Hughes just says,
Yeah.
can you believe they're talking?
No.
I just can't. It's just
I
oddities.
Yeah, it's probably some employee who used to work there and knows the way around. So How do you guys have any? Did anyone quit recently? Were they angry? How's the mood of everyone who works for the place?
Uh, I don't think that anyone's been angry. No one's been fired for a very long time, a couple years at least.
Okay.
Everyone's happy that works here. It's rather relaxing compared to what other people could be doing. It's a luxury.
Okay. What are you guys thinking?
Augustin, your observation, you sense a
Yes.
lot of fear when the first floor is involved. You sense that these security guards have witnessed a lot of things that are unexplainable other than Vaesen. Like these things remind you of like odd tales you've heard from home.
I have heard odd tales from home.
Yeah.
Um,
Specifically, you've heard of a creature. Chunakis. They are little gnomes, I guess would be asserted. They usually are in the jungle and like to make people lose their minds. They like to, in fact, they scare you so bad they suck out your soul. They are known to steal things and make you lost in the jungle. If they can't kill you by scaring you, they're gonna make you lost.
I kind of approach the guards, and this is like the early 1900s, so obviously smoking indoors is on. I just like pull out a cigarette. I start offering one by one to them. Whoever accepts, I just kind of like place it in their mouth and then just like lean in and light it with the one that's in mine down the road. And then as I'm doing them, I'm like, so I sense tension, gentlemen, especially around this first floor. What is there to be afraid of? Perhaps you've seen something that you haven't led on to, maybe something smallish, perhaps.
One of them kind of darts around, like trying to avoid a question.
You. Can I refresh your plate? Maybe a little more prosciutto, some sliced carrots, perhaps.
No, it's all right.
Just kind of caress his hair a little bit. It is all right. And it's all right for you to tell me what you're scared of.
Okay,
Gus won't tell anyone.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy.
There was just this weird. I found like a little creature, and it looked like I'm guessing it was a raccoon. Had to be a raccoon. There's no way it was a person. There's no way it was a person. It had to be a raccoon. It had to be a raccoon with a little hat on. It had to be a raccoon with a little hat and a little green outfit with a big nose. Yep.
Big nose.
That's what it was.
Outfit.
It was a raccoon. It was not a little person. It was not a little person slamming doors behind me.
Did this raccoon look like a person? I'm on the same page. We're in agreement.
Yeah,
This was a raccoon.
It was probably because I was really tired. This happened around 4 a.m. And the little person, they just laughed and ran.
Did you feel disoriented, perhaps lost after this encounter?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing.
And I'm sorry, baby. Refresh me. Where was this near?
Oh, God, the ethnographic room.
It would be that one.
When can Camilla kind of overhear this going on, this conversation?
Yes.
Gus is not quiet.
Okay,
So.
I didn't think so. Can she kind of go off to the side, like she's starting to do her womanly duties of kind of picking up and kind of moving stuff around and kind of taking care of things, and And as she kind of goes to put some stuff off to the side, can she do a medium check to try and see what he saw of the raccoon person?
Yeah, you can try that. What are you trying to use right now? I guess so I can help you make a check.
I'm
The crystal
going
ball?
Yeah, I'm going to probably kind of, I'm not going to use the dice on this one. I'm going to kind of pull out the crystal ball and, and I think that's add a dice to my, no, I think that, no, that lets me use my observation to look for clues, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, so she's going to kind of see kind of exactly what he saw to make sure, one, that he actually saw what he thought he saw, and to try to get, scared, and in the moment it's not like a camera, you're just seeing kind of what you remember, so trying to get kind of like a video view of what they actually saw.
All right.
So would that be an observation roll using empathy?
Yes.
8. Okay. Thank you, Clacky Dicey. Oh, that's successes on 8 dice. That's a bad time, especially if I'm using that talent, because it goes sideways on me.
Oh no.
On a
Would
failure.
you like to push?
Oh, heck yes, I do.
All right.
Give myself a
So
condition.
we haven't done this yet, but pushing means that you're pushing yourself beyond your normal limits. You take a condition, which is basically hit points in this game, like D&D. Instead of numbers, we have specific conditions: exhausted, scared. That's how you know someone is closer to an injury or basically a mental breakdown. Luckily, there's ways to heal in this game, but by pushing, you're going to take damage. What type of damage are you taking? And then tell me the roll.
It's going to be another observation roll. To be honest, like, it's obviously, like, I wouldn't be against taking exhausted from this. I know it's a physical condition, but angry, frightened, hopeless, or broken doesn't really seem to fit in this specific instance. Like, this doesn't really frighten her, but I think she would be more exhausted pushing herself mentally, and I think it would affect her that way, if that's okay.
I'll allow it. That's
Okay.
fine.
I will click off exhausted and we'll do a reroll. One. We got one success out of all that dice. We have one success.
All right, that's enough. You look into the crystal ball and you're brought back almost into this spectral world of the night before. It's dark. You see that the guard and that you've overheard has a lantern asking the hallway that is almost looks like there's fog, but you know that that's just what the guy is seeing. That's not really what's there. The hallway is clear, but you see a little person with a long green hat, green pants and shoes, giggling to their heart's content, and then runs up to a door. And as it snaps its fingers, you see the guy awaken from this hallucination, and you see the door slam, and you see the man look over to the door, and before the creature can get out of sight, the man sees it. Now, people in this world, they don't want to believe in these things. And so they make things up in their head to explain the unexplainable. So a raccoon in a little hat might be easier to handle than a tiny man that just made you waste an hour of your time scaring you to death.
And we'll definitely, sits, she's already sitting down, but you can see she definitely, tucks the crystal ball away, and then quickly, kind of tries to, quickly scrawl out what she's seen, whether, kind of a sketch and like kind of half writing, but then really just has to almost put her head down, and she's just completely wiped out. And then, she'll kind of, if either Gus or Calvin, if they're paying attention, will kind of hand off the sheet. And if anyone eventually, he saw what he saw. It's 100% real. We have to let everybody know.
Meanwhile, Astrid and Jerome, you guys are scouring. I think, Jerome, you said you wanted to go to the first floor.
Yes, yes. I want to see, like, out of the rooms that have been mentioned, I want to see if I find any tracks, pick anything up. I imagine, um, like, the thought is that I'll lean down to T-Bone and say, "Hey, do you remember Chuck? Chuck was cool, right? The way he would drink. So, you know, if you remember what he smells like, please track." Um,
He barks at you and then starts sniffing around. Roll, I guess I can't make the dog roll, but go ahead and roll your vigilance plus logic.
great, great. So, uh, my numbers are very low there, but thankfully, because it is a hunting dog, I can use him for vigilance for a little +3 action.
Nice.
So let's see. Oh, I've got 1 success.
All right, that's all you need.
Oh, thank goodness.
You are led into the ethnographic room. It's got a variety of interesting memorabilia from past history. Basically, it is the room where they don't know how to classify it, so they put it here.
Oh.
You see this beautiful page. You see these large statues that appear to be from Aztec culture. You see that these large marbles that are like these 120 sculptures with inscription and these limestone pieces detailed with different images of the Hindu gods and the like. Go ahead and, well, I already had you roll. What am I doing? You find a puddle of water near the marbles.
Okay. Okay. Astrid?
Yeah, Astrid like steps out. She like you and the dog are so much faster than her coming in here, so she's kind of like shuffles in after you.
There you are.
She says, "Yes, here I am. What's going on in here?"
So you've treated a lot of like injuries and stuff, right?
I'd be a terrible doctor if I hadn't.
Is that pee? I'll point to the puddle.
Pee is not an injury.
I'm just
I'll look though. I think you don't have to be a young man, you do not have to be a doctor to identify if something is pee or
It
not.
is not pee, Astrid. I will say that. It is water.
Astrid just
I'll
looks
give you
at
that
it.
for
It's
free.
It's clearly not pee.
great.
Do you want to know if it's blood? It's also not blood.
Oh, great.
It's just water.
Okay. Okay. All right. Rome's gonna sniff it then and see if there's anything special. Like, does it just smell like water? Does it smell like river water or
It smells and like you can sense and like you see that the dog kind of like accidentally puts his tongue in it and just shakes his head. It's seawater. It's salty.
Jerome probably would stick his tongue in it, just following T-Bone's cue.
Gotcha. Following the lead.
Yeah.
T-Bone, expert
Exactly.
explorer.
It's very salty. Like,
interesting.
well, why would seawater be here?
What did you say? The statue that the seawater is by has like Hindu gods and stuff on it. Is that what you said was here?
Yes.
Um,
You spot another puddle that appears to be river water as well.
it also by the same statue?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm not sure why this would be here. There are certain types of water in old wives' tales that can do different things.
Wow.
Could be some kind of use for magic. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Are there any other people around? I'm already doing weird stuff.
No, it's your as soon as you enter a room, people kind of like exit.
Oh,
Do any of the people who are in here look like wet, like wet clothing?
No, everyone looks like tourists, like in like
Yeah.
fancy dresses,
Not
top,
just a normal
like,
puddle that
nice
we're looking at.
outfits. No wet creatures in here right now.
okay.
I thought the activities were supposed to happen at night.
Yeah. Why is it wet now?
Would there be some kind of, I don't know if this would be applicable now, but something to see if I can think of like a connection between whatever's on that statue with like water creatures or something like that?
Roll a learning logic check.
Oh, nice. That's a good one for me. So that is my learning is, or my logic is 5 and my learning's 3, so that's all my dice. Oh my god, I did not get a single.
Would you like to
Oh,
push?
It's so painful when that happens. It's so
Yeah,
painful
I
when you
didn't.
drop like 9 dice. It's like,
I again got multiple 5s. I will push. And I think, can I roll first and then decide what condition I want to take?
Of course.
Okay. So I'll just re-roll all of these because I have an idea for what it could be, but if it doesn't make sense with what I find, then it wouldn't make sense for the condition. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. 2 6s, 2 successes. I think depending on what the thing that I hear is, maybe frightened. Like if this makes me learn anything about what creature could be here, then I would be frightened by it.
If you can think of a creature that you could be frightened by.
Yeah, or even if it's like, I mean, maybe I'm frightened anyway because I have stuff with mermaids in my history. So maybe like,
Yeah, you definitely this creature would be scary. Definitely.
yeah, I think I'll take frightened as I'm like pushing and like learning more about this. It's kind of like looking into things you don't really want to know the answer to.
Yeah. Yeah, so you are trying to rack your brain with what the heck could this be? And you think of a very large creature in Hindu mythology, Makara, the aquatic mount of the river goddess Ganga.
Okay.
It is the head, neck, and front portion of an elephant, but has scaled skin and the back end of a fish. Usually it'll look like some sort of
Interesting.
claw creature. And it is rather intimidating, although the creature is rather kind in stories, but don't make the river goddess angry. That's not a good idea.
I think that's like what Astrid gets freaked out by is she says it couldn't be this. Doesn't make sense for this to be here. This young man, we may be getting in a bit over our heads if this water was left here by a goddess of the river, of the water in Hindu, the Hindu
Wow.
beliefs.
Uh, and Jerome is probably like kind of caught up in awe, but if Astrid is getting frightened, I'd imagine T-Bone probably just kind of like goes up to her and just kind of like climbs up a little bit and looks up at her and making sure she's okay.
Yeah, Astrid is just absent-mindedly petting T-Bone, and is like, I don't know if we should be in here. If I mean, a goddess is not necessarily ill-intended, but
Right. Okay. Let's go. And Jerome, learning from his mistake earlier, will help Astrid. So he's
yeah.
not rushing forward.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's got a pep in her step getting out of here.
Nice.
She's a little freaked out.
You guys exit the room going off to whatever you're going to investigate next, but the camera kind of pans back to the room. And it goes to what looks like a statue, an Aztec statue, and what the audience sees are three little heads pop out. Little creatures, they look like little men with green hats, green outfits, and almost look like a gnome, but Hispanic in nature. They are snickering at their new victims. That's all we have for tonight. You're
Oh,
gonna have to
snap.
come back in 2 weeks, August 25th, to see what happens at the mystery at the museum
So long.
and what else is to
Wonderful.
come.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Mary. This has been
So good.
wonderful. Well, before
Mhm.
we say goodbye, let's have some final words from each of our cast members, who you are, who you've been, and where people can find you. Let's start with Taylor with Mary on deck.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I use she, her pronouns, and I've been playing Astrid Nielsen, who also uses she, her pronouns. I think I just got pranked by a gnome. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube at Roll for Felicity, where I stream one-shots on a bunch of different systems, generally on Saturdays, including this Saturday I'm going to be streaming. So check me out there.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor. Now let's go over to Mary with Steve on deck.
I'm Mary Kate Mead. I've been the GM this week. I use she, her pronouns, and you can catch me over on 2000 Tales, as well as see my tweets about TTRPGs and disability at oh geez, I was about to give 2000 Tales Twitter, but mine is Nerd on Wheels 15.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Let's go over to Steve with Miguel on deck.
Hi, my name's Steve. You can find me on Twitter at W9Steve. On Mondays, weekly, I am on Rainbows and Razor Blades channel with the Artena campaign with Mary. And that's how I met her and got to have this wonderful experience. I am playing Camilla Ness, your resident occultist and medium of sorts and general mess. And I'm having a lot of fun, and this has been very exciting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Let's go over to Miguel with myself on deck.
Hey everybody, I have been Miguel. You can find me all over the internet, Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Miguel_Clasico, where I usually just tweet about burritos and post pictures of things I make for food and my cute dogs. I am working on a small TTRPG called Order Up, where the players take on the roles of street food chefs in a world of magic and whimsy. So, TBD on that.
Awesome.
I need more. I need that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Miguel. I'm Matt. I was playing Jerome this evening. You can find me on all the socials, Twitch and YouTube as Improv and D&D. And finally, last but certainly not least, Derek.
Hey, I'm Derek. Derek Brown, he, him. I play Calvin, who is the greatest detective in the world.
Yes.
So I have a podcast called Lights Camera Blaction. Season 2 is coming out soon, but season 1 is here. And also, pretty excited. I got to work on a TV show that premieres tonight called. I'm not in the show. I just worked on it. I worked in production. That's called A League of Their Own, starring Abby Jacobson. Yeah, it's awesome. Please watch it. I'm not in it, but if you don't hit next, you might see my name. Well, actually, I'm not in the pilot because pilot was anyway. Watch the show.
Awesome.
You worked on a cool show. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That
yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Derek. And finally, just a heads up with Chaotic Wonderful on the 18th, we'll be starting a mini campaign of Wanderhome, GM'd by none other than Taylor in your upper left corner of your screen. As well as there will be a one shot of Orbital Blues on the 23rd. So make sure to mark those down in your calendar. Now, for us, that's it for us. Remember in this chaotic world to stay wonderful, and we'll see you again on August 25th in 2 weeks for episode 2. Have a great night, y'all. Bye.